cool. So question, perfect. First question is here. And I just want to say, what up, Amy? Okay, James says this. We are with you and you are our guide. But I'd like to know what specific things do you look for in a person when you pick a service, product, or coach? Great question. Authenticity, vulnerability. I want the person, if I'm going to be honest about like who I look for, I want the person who's doing the things that I want to do. And they haven't just done it for themselves, they've helped other people achieve those results. Hopefully people in a worse situation than I have been in. Now, I've been in the worst of the worst situation. So like, I've always put myself down. I have something called underdog psychosis. So, you know, I'm always like, yeah, well, you know, I always have that imposter syndrome. I don't feel like I'm worthy. It comes from my background, you know, my story of, you know, younger, when I was a kid in school and I was a school dropout. Even before a school dropout, I was in school. I was the thickest of the thick. I was the lowest of the low class. I would always sit at the back of the class. I couldn't understand the work. I couldn't comprehend the work. I was told I was stupid. I was told I was stupid. I was told I was stupid. They put me into private school. They said, look, this kid needs special needs. So they put me in private school. They paid for my school. 11 years old, my dad went to prison. 11 years old, they had to move me out to this school. And they said, well, we don't know where to put this kid. And my mum's like, well, he's not going to the school that you're trying to put him into, because it was where I come from is a crime-ridden neighborhood. And my mum's like, he can't go to that school. And even though my friends were going there, my mum didn't want me to go there because she was like, you're going to go to prison with all your friends. And I'm like 11 years old. And my dad's writing to me from prison saying to me, you're the man of the house. You need to provide for your mum. And there I am now, this young entrepreneur saying, well, I'm going to go and provide for my mum. And obviously my mum's like, no, you're 11 years old. Chill, you know, chill, Winston. And I'm like, well, you know, so she put me into a school where they asked me to go, and I ended up being in a school with handicapped kids. So I literally was in a school with handicapped kids, and even in that school, I was at the lowest class. I was at the lowest grade. In school, you have GCSEs in the United Kingdom. So it's something called GCSEs, right? And that's like the standard curriculum. I couldn't go into GCSEs. I went into C of E, which is Certificate of Education. That was for the people who had no comprehension. Now I'm in C of E. I'm in the bottom classes of C of E, and I am now not even comprehending those bottom classes. So I was the lowest kid in the bottom classes. Like, that's where I was. So imagine I was told I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid, I'm stupid. And then all of a sudden people around the world start saying, AJ, like, you know, you're my guru, you know, you're AJ, you're a genius. My brain can't get that. Like, my brain still doesn't get it. Does not get it whatsoever. And what the cool thing is, because I'm going to share this, you know, I've become an alcoholic, or maybe I was born an alcoholic, I don't know, but I'm an alcoholic, and I drank alcohol every day because I couldn't understand what was going on in my life. And I struggled with alcohol for a long time, almost died multiple times, pretty much killing myself because I didn't understand. Like, you know, I'm successful, I'm making millions of dollars, and I'm changing people's lives. I couldn't connect with it. And then I got clean. In 2016, I started to clean up my act. And I relapsed and relapsed and relapsed and relapsed and relapsed, and then, you know, the relapses got longer apart, and each relapse got shorter to the point now where I'm now clean. I'm 8 months clean. I went to Vegas 8 months ago, and I thought, yeah, I can have a beer, and it was the worst decision I could have ever made, but at least I did it in Vegas. I went to Vegas, did that, but I've been clean for 8 months. Then something that happened was the pain, you have to appreciate now the trauma is in the body remembers. So now I've got all this trauma in my body, and the pain's coming out, and now I literally start smoking weed. I live here in California, and the weed starts, you know, fixing the pain. And I have this pain, and I would say to you, right, Elijah, like, the pain was fucking horrific, right? Like, really, like a tiger. I would text my buddy Joe Polish, and I would be like, dude, like, this is like, the only way I can explain this, like a tiger leaving my body. Like, there's a tiger trying to get out of my chest. Anyway, you know, long story short, today is my 30 days clean of the weed. So we started working through that process of cleaning that out as well. And this isn't for me, because I would much prefer to sit around and smoke a reefer and chill and just remove pain. But I'm doing it for a bigger vision. I'm doing it for a bigger thing. I'm doing it to inspire millions of people. Like, I believe that I can do that. And I've had to think to myself, you know, just because I know I can, does it mean that I have to, or does it mean that I should go and inspire millions of people? And it's like, you know, Joe Polish is a dear friend of mine who owns Genius Network, and is a network of the, you know, the highest network people. You know, there's like the people in there are many billionaires. This is where I hang out with billionaires and like many millionaires and like, you know, great successful people. And like I speak with Joe every day, and he's really good friends with Tony Robbins. And then, you know, you got Joe Polish's business partner, Dean Graziosi, who's, you know, a multiple New York Times bestseller who helps me. And he's Tony Robbins' business partner. And here I am around this thing, and I'm like, well, Tony's inspiring the millions of people, and I'm in that circle. And I'm not saying I'm any Tony Robbins, I'm not saying I'm any Dean Graziosi, I'm not saying I'm any Joe Polish. I'm just Alex Jeffries, this school dropout who is here, and I want to inspire people. Like, I believe I have a great story that can inspire people. I've changed thousands of people's lives. Why not go on to inspire or change hundreds of thousands of people's lives? It's very fulfilling to me. And that's why I'm staying sober. So to answer the question, I just want to go back to this question because I think it's important. You know, what do you look for in a person? Whenever I was up and coming, I would look for somebody who had achieved what I wanted to achieve. Because there's two ways that you can invest, your time or your money. And the best time to invest your money is when you do not have the money. That sounds crazy, but that's why most people are failures. So check this. I realized that if I was going to do it on my own, it was going to take me a long time. But if I were to invest in a coach, invest in a mentor, that person would be invested in me. So I needed to find the best of the best because I didn't have a lot of money to be throwing out there. So I had to find out who the best people were. So I started doing my research. And I started to find the right people. I found the wrong people first, but then as I started to find the right people, I would invest in those people. But I didn't have the money. But that was a clear point of why I should invest money because I didn't have the money. So I started investing when I didn't have the money because I was like, how am I going to do it otherwise, right? But it's so counterintuitive that most people don't do it. That's why most people are failures. So, you know, when I have the money, it's very easy for me to cut a $25,000 check to Joe, a $25,000 check to Dan, and all of these different people. I throw this person 5,000, that person 10,000, and I invest all over the place right now. I invest 6 figures a year right now. It's easy for me now, right? It's easy for me now, but when I didn't have the money, it was very difficult. But that's when I had to do it. So I personally look for the people who have done it, and not just for themselves, but helped other people do it. That's just me. I go that way. That's it. And I will work with the best, and I have the best mentors in the world. Like, straight fact. Like, if in the business world, this information is coming through me to you, is coming from the best of the best. Straight fact.